All right, everyone. So I'm here at the curb spot. This is not going to be a crazy video by any stretch. So I just did want to, I'm going to go ahead and this will be kind of like a short little review. I'm going to talk about these, the new Slappy trucks with the new ultra low kingpins. If you could see those right there, you can see those. And then also these Slappy rails. They look like red vines, so I'm kind of curious as to how they're gonna slide. We're gonna find out. Mike Sinclair was kind enough to send me some stuff. He also sent me some risers too, like 1mm and 2mm risers. So I'll get to trying those out too. Just gotta have the right trucks for it. And yeah, let's get to skating the curbs, and I'll get some check-ins and all that stuff. Let you know what I'm thinking so far, and get to it. That was a good 50, dude. All right, let's do some slides, see how these are sliding. That fuel felt pretty good, so yeah, I'm kind of curious as to how these grooves are gonna slide, so we'll see.
What was that?
What?
What was that?
I think the groove just stopped me completely. I think. Yeah, it's like the red rail. That's crazy. Let's try it again, see if I'm tripping. I'm going slow this time. Dude, that was crazy. Okay, that's interesting. So, wow, look at that. This curb has wax caked on it, but it's literally like these grooves. They're actually stopping me on the rails, which is interesting. On board slides. Okay. So if you hit the edge of the curb at all, and you don't like lock in all the way right away, these are stopping me. I'm tempted to go and get my other board that has normal rails on it, like normal flat little Johns, and see if it's any different. But we'll see. Okay, they're sliding. It's just that first one scared me. I think I was on the edge of the curb, and if you're like on the edge of the curb, it's like catching the wax. Like you can see how it almost stripped the curb just now.
That was good?
I mean, it slides, but I can definitely feel the resistance from those lines. All right, one more board slide, and then I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go get the other board with the little Johns. I can feel it stopping, like if you get it tilted at all. If you get it like tilted like this at all to either side, and you're not perfectly flat. See, like when you're perfectly flat, it's fine, but if you get on the edge, I can feel it like stopping. That's crazy. Jeez, that's wild. All right, let's go get the other rails real quick, the board with the other rails, and I just want to see. So, all right, I've got the little Johns rails on. These are the Slappy Hour ones. They're pretty I'll put it close. They're pretty thin. Like you can see, they don't really stick up super far. I don't know if that's all the way in frame, but I'm just gonna like kind of go fast and then see if there's like a difference depending on like if I tilt or anything like that. I just want to see if there's a difference with the rails. Oh my, dude. That's like night and day. Like the speed is crazy. Yeah, like I feel confident. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I would have been confident enough to do that with the other rails. Interesting. Interesting. One thing I do notice though is nose slides were easier with the Slappy trucks. I think I've gotten to the point now where I'm used to like hitting more base plate when I'm like nose sliding. So it's like, I'm not used to it with Thunders now. It's like weird. I also think that like, because the wheelbase is pushed out, I'm like getting less nose, you know? It's sliding. That's interesting. So like so far, the Slappy rails, the ridges, the plastic feels good itself. Like if you get perfectly flat on the curb, but the ridges are catching like a decent amount more. So are they sliding as good as like normal rails or normal, like, granted the Slappy hour rails, they are like a rounded profile too, so that probably helps them. They're not like squared, but so are the Slappy trucks rails as well. So I don't think it's like a roundedness thing. I think it's more just those ridges are catching when you're going in a straight line if you get on the edge of the curb. So something to note. I do want to get some more grinds in and stuff on the Slappy truck. So let's see what we can do. Let's see, because they are grinding really good. I'm loving the way that the trucks feel. So let's get back to it. All right, everyone. So session got cut a little short. I'll tell you why, but okay. So found out some interesting things about this whole setup. So I've got, right now I'm rocking Bones X99s, 53s, right? These are the new Slappy inverted trucks with the ultra low kingpin. Let's talk about the rails first though. So couple things. Where I think that they're good for just like a normal curb like this is feeble grinds, because like the grooves, because they're kind of in a I don't know if you can tell, but see if that'll focus. They're kind of diagonal, so it kind of locks you in and slides, like the rail goes with the feeble, so it really cooks on feeble grinds. Like it was great. It almost keeps you in place, doesn't let you kind of slide out of it. So if you're like a feeble guy, hurricane guy, anything like that, these rails are like pretty fantastic on the edges. I think once they get worn down on top where flat part is, I think once those ridges get worn down, then I think they'll slide normal and they won't be so catchy. It just feels like you have to, as soon as you get into the board slide, you have to make sure you're like completely flat. If you get on the edge at all, it almost like de-waxes the curb. It's crazy. Like I was cooking on the first one and I just absolutely stuck. And that's like never happened on a curb that I regularly skate with any set of rails. My curbs, I keep them pretty icy. So yeah, there's some good and some bad for these rails. I think once they get worn down and flattened on the top, they'll be great. If you love feebles and stuff though, these are awesome. Like those lines really lock you into place. So that's pretty sick. One other thing to note about these rails that I didn't realize until I opened them, because he sent me 2 sets. On the other side, it has double-sided tape. So that's really nice. Like, you don't have a lot of bigger companies including double-sided tape or something like that on the other side of the rails. Like Santa Cruz doesn't, Bones doesn't, Pig doesn't. The only other company I can think of that's like a bigger, like, I guess one of the big brands in skating that does that is Film. Like for their rails, they have like a 3M tape on the other side. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people skate Lil Johns. They slide great. They, you know, they have the double-sided tape. They last forever. I think these would honestly be great rails. I just think that this needs to be kind of flattened out a little bit, like on top, you know? I like that it's like that on the sides because, like I said, it feels really good to like lock into place for like a feeble. So for the trucks, so I actually tested a bunch of the prototypes and stuff like that for these kingpins before they released for like, I want to say it was like a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years. I was testing different versions of these kingpins. So I have a fair amount of time on these particular trucks and these particular pins. This is obviously the final version, so it's going to be a little bit better than probably what I tested. I don't know if I had any like final versions. I don't know if I did, because I remember me and Mike were kind of talking back and forth about like the length of the threads and all that good stuff, and also like how much the bushings taper so that they wouldn't blow out prematurely and stuff like that, because you really don't want them. You don't want the top of the kingpin to press down on the edges of the bushing and then have it bulge and then create, you know, blowouts. So on this set of trucks, like, they were actually fine. I'll include some clips right now of me skating like at the skate park and all that stuff, ledges and rails and all that stuff right quick, and then I'll get right back. So yeah, that's some of the normal skating on the trucks, but when I started skating the curbs, I don't know, like this front bushing, it blew out pretty quick, and it kind of ended my session because they're pulling really hard to one side, my front truck. I didn't do anything really switch, so the back bushing is fine, but this front top bushing, I don't know if you could see it. Let's see if that'll focus on there. It's pretty. And I keep them nice and like, usually keep my trucks really loose when I'm skating curbs. But it just got bad to where I was like, what is that? Why does it feel like that? I was trying to like crook 180 nose grind and like pop over. And like I was going up to the curb and I was like, why does my board feel like crazy? And it was pulling hard. I didn't realize it until I got off and pushed it, but it was pulling hard to one side. So for some reason, these particular bushings, for me, I'm like not a small guy, they blow out a little quicker. I remember when I was testing, like doing the prototypes, I had to run like a harder top, I believe. And when I ran a harder top, they would be fine. And I wouldn't have to, and obviously I weigh more, you know, I weigh like 190 pounds. So I'm not the lightest dude out. Why did my voice crack? I'm not the lightest dude out there. So I just had to run a harder top bushing, and then it was fine for me. If you're a lighter dude, you might not run into that issue, but it kind of ended my session a little quick. But as far as the way they grind, pinch, all that stuff, I mean, you've probably seen my Slappy reviews before. They grind and pinch fantastic, especially this, like the black color. You know, when it's painted like this, the paint seems to be actually holding on pretty strong, considering like how many grinds I did. Obviously my curbs are like nice and waxed, but they were like cooking. Some of the grinds I was like, whoa dude. And I haven't been skating curbs as much lately, so that's probably added to it. But the trucks, the way they grind, the way the nose slides felt and everything like that, because you're getting a little bit a little bit more base plate. I think I'm kind of used to that now because I've been riding Ace AF1s a lot or Venture V8s. Those are the two that have been my go-to trucks. I think I do like now a little bit more base plate there, just in case I don't under rotate it right or something like that. I have a little bit more margin for error. Also because they were like a little taller, when I go to like snap over the curb and everything like that, it's almost like a slightly better release, if that makes sense, from when you're actually go to like pop it over. It's just a little bit of extra height, like releases it quickly. So all in all, I mean, the trucks were really good. The way they grinded, the way they locked in, the clearance, obviously, like that was the whole point of these Kingpins, was the clearance is crazy good. I don't know if it's more than the new Ace inverteds or the same or what, but I haven't measured it. But you do have plenty of clearance. I did actually hit it one time, the Kingpin, on one of the feeble grinds. I will say that on the Aces, the AF1s, because the head of the Kingpin isn't quite as big, you know, it's got the washer that's like built in. It seems like it's a little smaller. And I think their bushings taper a little bit more. You really just hit the yoke. It's like feels almost impossible to hit the Kingpins on the AF1s. These you can't. I think you can if you really dig in, but that's not. I mean, it's really still like a lifesaver. So I doubt that anyone's gonna really be to hit the Kingpin enough to hang up. It's so low. It's so rounded over. You might tap it a little bit, but if you really dig into one or you get into one wrong, for me it was that I got into the feeble slightly wrong from the start. So it kind of was already not in that pinch part of my truck. So it was more like directly over the Kingpin. But yeah, the trucks honestly felt fantastic. They were grinding so good, especially compared to the Thunders on this curb. They felt like they were cooking compared to the Thunders. Thunders felt a little catchy. I did a couple grinds like in between. Thunders felt a little bit more catchy than these, and that probably has to do with the shape of the hanger and how it's like a barrel design similar to like Ace. You just get like a nice, really good, consistent grind. It's super nice. So all in all, the trucks, the new inverted Kingpins they feel really good. I don't think that I'm getting, well, there's a tiny bit of movement in the Kingpin, a little bit when I turn the truck or whatever, when I, tilt them. There's a tiny bit of movement, but barely any. So it's not, the design of that is not probably as, I guess, Loctite as the Aces, but when I was riding them, I didn't really have a whole lot of issues with that. I mean, that could have added to the bushing thing a little bit, maybe. So that could be a factor. But like I said, when I was running slightly harder tops, it was better. But all in all, trucks, the Kingpins are really good. The rails probably would be better the more that I skated them, the more that they wear down. So yeah, that's just short little video. Well, probably not that short because I was rambling, but yeah, we got some other stuff coming. There's gonna be more bike content coming. I got a flat tire, so I gotta convert it over. I'm gonna convert it over to tubeless. I got a pinch flat, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna get a new tube. I'm just gonna get some sealant, some rim tape, and some new valves and reseal it. But yeah, continue using my discount codes for everything. East Coast Curb Killer gives you 20% off for Etnies S America. RR15, I believe it is, gives you 15% off at Warsaw. And then I'll put it in the description and probably on screen, but there is a discount code for Lil John's that gives you 10% off. I can't remember if it's like RR10 or I'll look. I'll put it on the screen in the description, but it'll give you a little discount, and all those things help me out a ton, help the channel out a ton. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video. Take it easy. Love ya.